20. Just in that one moment, your life changes completely.
She's not your typical beauty queen.
Nicole Kelly made headlines when she won Miss Iowa in June. She'll be the first to compete with a very visible disability.
All about overcoming disabilities.
Sure. Some people call it disability.
She says she doesn't deny her disability,
but representing thousands, overcoming obstacles because of their disability.
I'm here today because I think that we have the power to start changing what stereotypes are. The simple fact of the matter is stereotypes aren't going away. It's my everyday job to walk around seriously with a crown on my head and talk like a normal person with a crown on my head. You know, I'm gonna get stereotyped for that, but it is my job to break that barrier and to convince people that what I'm doing is so much more than what you're seeing and what you're thinking and what you're assuming. What I also carry with me, you guys, is the stereotype of being disabled. It's been a part of me since the moment I was born. I was born with just one hand. It's all that I've ever known. I've grown up doing absolutely everything from basketball to soccer to dance team to I was on the diving team. I was a lifeguard at the swimming pool. I mean, really, you name it, and I did it. Probably half the reason I did it was just to prove you wrong that I could do it, you know? I march into these elementary schools, I have my Finding Nemo, all of the kids have seen it 93 times and they can quote every single line from it, and usually they do. And it's an instant connection for them. All I have to say is Nemo has a lucky fin and Nikki has a lucky fin. And just like that, they understand exactly where I'm coming from. And I always encourage questions of any kind. Because for me, questions are what break those barriers, questions are what break the stereotype. And I'm constantly encouraging those questions to be a part of conversation. I mean, my favorite one is always I'll have given my whole big speech, and then somebody will raise their hand and be like, "Miss Iowa, what happened to your hand? It's gone." You missed it, kid. But usually my response to that actually is, "I don't know. What do you think happened to it?" And I get the coolest answers. I always get "Oh, it was probably a dragon, wasn't it?" Or, you know, the shark joke never gets old. I mean, I was telling you I was a lifeguard. I would always, the kids at the pool, I'd be like, "It was the shark that lives in this pool. Better not go swim." Right? But my point in that is that these kids, when I open it up to questions, always have usually very good questions. And they start from being very concrete, very objective questions. And they move into simply affirming the fact that they've understood what I've said. So they'll go from, "Nikki, how do you do your hair?" "Miss Iowa, how do you do your nails?" into raising their hand and saying, "Miss Iowa, I have a cousin who has a really big scar on his knee, and so it's totally okay to be different." And really, these are always the best responses to get. Because it's an affirmation that I'm teaching the next generation how I want to be treated. Not with pity, not with difference, but with the understanding that my difference is just like your difference. And if we all have those differences, then that makes us the same. It truly is that simple.
And that's what I want to bring to the Miss America stage, is the fact that it's every fiber of who I am, yet at the same time, no part of who I am.